bright lights above me here and take some of the glare off my forehead. It's a little warm, so I'm glistening. The brush of today is a whipped dog that is one of the first ones that I ever got. This is a 22 millimeter Silvertip from them, and I like it a lot. It's just that this handle, I bowl lather, and this short handle just really gets my fingers in the lather more than I would like. Then I bought another of the same knot, just months apart, and it just wasn't as good as I remember it. So I'm going to take a trip back to the original, see what happens, because I've also tested some Silvertips from Virginia Ching and Frank Shaving and the Golden Nib, and right now the Golden Nib one, the premium grade, is just my top of these inexpensive Silvertip knots. So let's just try this whipped dog one again, see if there's see if it kind of matches up to the knot that I got recently or not. The razor for today is a new one for me. This is a Fatip. It is an Italian razor. Got it from Gillette Shaving, if I'm pronouncing that right. And this is a special black and gold edition. The base plate is gold plated, and a black nickel is the finish of the handle and the top cap. This is the Piccolo handle, and this is the Grande base plate. This particular version came with the closed comb base plate as well. And I've got a blade right now, my venerable Nacet, 50 dots on that side, and we have just used it yesterday 85 times, so today is 86. And so it is a blade that seems to require more the aggressive, and the Grande head is more aggressive than the Gentile head. So anyway, that's why I'm using this one. I'll tell more about the razor in just a minute. Let's go through the rest of the equipment. I have the soap for today is Noble Otter Kaboom. And this was a limited edition that they did, and I was so tempted to buy it. I just didn't have the funds at the time, and so I got this one used, and I just happened to stumble upon a really good deal. It's super light off the puck, and I was super disappointed. I remember reading about the description and thinking, that just sounds like me. I think I'd really like that one. And then I smelled it earlier, like 20 minutes ago. I was like, holy cow, this is so light. There's no way. Well, then I reread the description, and it said it does increase in intensity as you use it, so I'm hoping that's the case. So we'll get into more of that in a minute. It is an homage, maybe a duplication, but at least an homage to the, I think it's Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb is the fragrance that they were working on. And so I'm looking forward to that. I've never actually used the Spice Bomb fragrance, but it sounds neat. All right, brush has been soaking. You don't have to soak your brushes, your badgers. I just like to. You do need to get them wet before you shave, though. And here is since I'm traveling, my melamine lather bowl. All right, first thing, I'm gonna get my face wet. This is fairly soft water, so nice, good conditions for a good lather. All right, I'm gonna bring the brush knot out. I'm gonna shake a good bit of the water out. I had a situation, there we go. Had a situation where I think maybe I had too much water in the brush. Some of it didn't mix with the soap, and then when I did the press to apply it as my first lather, it released some of that water, and then it just flushed my brush out, and I lost all my lather. So I'm removing more water, because it can always be added back in. All right, so this is a used soap puck. We're going to lather. Let's just do it for 30 seconds. And when the 50 on the mark comes around, there we go. All right. So 30 seconds. I probably just need to do 20. Since I started at 50, that means we stop it. the 20 mark on the next minute. It's foaming up quickly. And that's 20 seconds. That's probably enough. Let's just do 25 seconds. I mean, that looks like enough. I mean, look at that. That's a quick lather up. I'm going to rinse the container before all the soap dries. And there we go. Really interested in seeing how this guy works. And now we will take said brush. Now these Silvertips from Whip Dog are very low on backbone and soft and poofy, if you will. If that's what you like, then you'll enjoy these guys. Just brush it around for a little bit. I don't know, this may be in the new base from Noble Otter, and so this actually may be the first time I've tried their new base. There we go. I'm going to add some water to it. I'm not a big fan of the low strength scent soaps, and so that's the quickest way to my sell it or give it away pile. And unfortunately, a lot of the makers out there are doing that. They're catering to people who maybe have allergies or sensitive skin issues and putting out some scents that kind of on the weak side. I mean, that's their prerogative. With this shaped bowl, I find myself spinning it to help move the soap around. I like that. Now let's see, if I remember the notes, it said that it's a resinous something comes around with a little bit of a citrus top note, and that changes to a little bit of a floral, almost becoming a rose-like scent, and then it settles down and you'll experience kind of a leathery, tobacco-y, and that's where I hope I get a lot of the yeah, look, that has come together nicely. Look at that form right there. Very firm. So see, I definitely did not add too much water too quickly. We've now added 2 teaspoons of water to this lather. And so hopefully the lemony is a easygoing type thing, and hopefully the floral is also something that is kind of subdued and maybe muted by some of the other notes. I like it so far. Very nice. When this handle gets slippery and soapy, you have to have this death grip on it to keep control of it when you're working. That's why I wanted to re-knot it into a better handle. Again, I don't think I have added too much water. I did add it a lot quickly. I added a teaspoon at a time. But I knew since I'd shaken a lot of the water out of my brush, I was gambling, but I felt pretty good about it. So let's take a look at it. Look at that. See how it folded in? I don't know, you probably didn't see that. That wall folded in right there. And look at that, kind of more of a light bulb shape. And look at that very flimsy wall that kind of moves a little bit. That's showing you something about the elasticity. Heard really good things about this base, that it's really stepped up into the top tier. Hey, yeah, look at that. Very nice. And actually, I am going to, oh, nice. I like this. I'm going to add just a little bit more water. A half teaspoon. And another one, and I bet I want to stop there. Lots, tons of lather. I'm glad I stopped at 25 seconds. Got some good elasticity there. We'll do a finger test here. A little bit of cushion, a little bit of resistance as I bring the fingers together. I can just barely feel that I have finger ridges in my fingerprints. I like that a lot. That seems like it's in a really good place. So let's just do it. All right. I'm going to pause you while I rinse one more time. All right. So you see how most of the handle is covered in suds. That's just kind of the way it goes with these shorter handles and lathering this much stuff. All right. You know what? I think this brush, this knot is just very different. Than the other. And it's actually the same one. I ordered the 22 millimeter. And, you know, there is room. You know, we need to give room for there to be difference in batches. I mean, these are lower cost. You know, they're like $25 a knot compared to much higher ones. And there's just going to be some differences. And this feels great. Lather looks pretty good too. Maybe a little on the thick side. Like for instance, when I do that swipe, if you look at the furrows here, and you see a little bit, a few kind of almost clumpy pieces. Sometimes that's a clue of the consistency. And sometimes that means it's a little too dry. Let's just put a pass through and we'll see. Feels nice and slick as I'm rinsing the soap off my fingers. And so this Piccolo handle does not, I've looked at it because I really like the Fatip's razors, and the Grande and the Testina Gentile have a different handle than this. This is a solid stain. These are all brass, and they're plated brass, so it'll last a lifetime. The couple of them, and so, but this one's solid, where the other one is thicker, but it's hollow. Okay, so the weight is different, and the pictures of this handle have just never even the normal chrome ones or the nickel plated ones have just never done it justice. Having it in front of me, I really like it. But the pictures have never made me think, oh, that's attractive, you know. But since I like the Fatip so much, I said, let's try one. I stumbled upon a good deal. And one of the things that sometimes Fatips are known for is the blade alignment and how sometimes it takes a minute. So this is the black nickel finish, and here is the gold plated base plate. Usually doesn't take me too long to align these guys. Sometimes just 5 seconds. First thing I do is just kind of a relaxed fit, just like that, and bingo, it worked perfectly. If you just kind of drop it on there, I think about half the time it just lands right, and then you carefully screw it on. Now here's the problem, and this is why I can't always recommend Fatips to new users. If you look at it, if the aspect ratio is right on the video, it looks a little tilted, doesn't it? That's because this handle is not correctly milled. The hole that was drilled down in the handle is off just a little bit. But I contacted Connaught, and they're sending me a new handle, so hopefully it'll be straight and there'll be no problem at all. But right now it's kind of a slant, no big deal. All right, feels great in my hand. Let's see how it feels when the handle is wet. Very secure, not a problem at all holding that. Maybe different when soapy. So here we go. The Grande open comb base plate has been surprisingly smooth for me in the other with the other handles, the other razors. It'll probably be the same way with this one, but it cuts really well. Now in the with this Nacet, it's so old. I hope that it's going to be aggressive enough to still work and give me a good shave with this older blade. Oh, feeling good so far. Oh, that's good. That feels really good. That's the most comfortable that this blade has been in a long time. Now hopefully it's because, hopefully it's still cutting. Hopefully it's not comfortable because it's, being ineffective, right? Very smooth. It seems like the blade is back in its 20s, the way it feels here. All right. I really like the scent of this soap. I'm going to rinse. The rinse just now was terrific with this soap. Just felt luxurious, creamy, and all that. And let's see, to give you a look at it, it looks great, doesn't it? It actually looks a little drier than I usually have my lather, but let's just work it and see what happens. It's going great so far. The razor felt nice as I was shaving. Brush feels terrific. Yeah, so this is definitely, now this one's been used more than the other whip dog knot that I have. Who knows, maybe it'll get this way over time, but this is definitely softer, less wiry, better tips than my other one that I put on a more ergonomic handle. The scent is not super strong where I'm getting it right now, very much, maybe a 1 out of 10. But I do get it when I'm brushing and moving things around. It's a light thing, but it is spicy. I can see why people call it spice bomb. Now, bomb kind of okay, they call it Kaboom. Okay, that's what they call this soap. It's based off of the scent spice bomb. I could see calling this Kaboom just to reference the spice bomb, but there's no Kaboom going on here. This is a lightly scented soap. It's a wonderful warm. I think I'm getting the leathery, a little more of the leather than the tobacco. Not really picking up the lemon. And I think the florals are just being a helper here. At least that's my take on it, layman's perspective. And I'm sitting here talking rather than shaving, and so we can see it's not drying out on my face. Looks great. So let's hit that again. Cross grain this time. Feels just terrific. I'm kind of saying I'm hearing the blade, but I'm not feeling it. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Make sure I don't let my skin get too loose here. Don't want to get careless. Sometimes a nice smooth shave can tempt you to get careless with your technique. In this patch right here, I'm going cross grain right now. All right, that was the second pass. This razor seems to hold a lot more water. Maybe it's between the combs, you know, between the teeth, because then I'll go to make a stroke and then I'll just get drips down. That usually doesn't happen. Must be just the head design. I'm going to rinse. All right, third pass. So yeah, I've got plenty of soap left. About to do the third pass. Looks like I could have done 20-second load. I'm just learning to lather from the tub efficiently. I've been using a little scooper to scoop from the tub, and that's nice because it's predictable. But I just wanted to increase my experience and knowledge. And I think 20 seconds, several different soap brands, seems to be good. Tons of great lather here. Feels great going on the face. Yeah, it's not. It's better. So much better than my other whip dog. Just must be a batch issue or something like that. Like I said, it could be an age. Maybe the other one will come to this at some point. So it's lightly scented. The scent is very interesting. I really like it a lot. So even though it's light, I'm going to keep this one around. And the base is performing really well, so that's another reason. This is so comfortable. I dearly hope I get to the end of this shave and I get a good cut, because I want to keep using this razor with this old blade. I mean, I know this head works really well with newer, younger blades. to work well with this one. No irritation at all. Very good grip on the handle here. And I'm going to rinse my third pass off. That's so good. It's so sweet. I just took a look at this area and I've got a great cut. This is by far the best razor that I have used with this aging Nacet blade. Comfort is the highest easily. And I've tried a bunch of razors with it. Usually when they're this comfortable, the blade isn't at the right geometry or whatever, the dullness, it just doesn't translate into a close shave. Comfort, great, closeness of the shave, down. And so I find other razors that are a little bit less comfortable. They're still not irritating, but you got some blade feel there and they still give you a great cut. Okay, this one blows everything else away so far. Tremendous. That's just great. And I haven't even done my touch-up pass for the neck only run yet. So very happy with that. Let us get that on. I habitually did want to put some lather on my cheek there. Lather feels terrific going on. The razor is gliding really well across my skin, so it's not, and I'm being protected well, so this is not too dry. Being careful to watch my angle. Taking short strokes in this tricky area so that I can constantly feel and listen so that I keep my angle at a good, efficient cut. Now, I'm going to do a quick rinse, use that residual slickness here to look and inspect, and couple of little quick touch-ups. Oh, that's a great cut. Wow. Man, who would have thunk it? And I use the Grande, this same base plate, not this exact one, but the same model, just on the other handle a month ago, and it just didn't give me a close shave. Maybe my technique was off. Maybe it was great, but I just wasn't on that day. Let me go ahead and get my cheek. Such good glide and slickness here. Holy cow. Very, very nice. All right, I'm going to clean up. So just a few hairs left with any length on them, and that is above average for me, even with a younger, extra sharp blade. Just the way it is. So this is a great shave all the way around. So I had a lightly wet 22 millimeter Badger brush that wasn't super dense, so it had lots of room for water. But to it, I ended up adding 3 teaspoons of water, and that gave me, to me, the perfect combination of cushion. I just had it felt luxury as I was rinsing afterwards. It felt great as I was brushing it on. Really happy with that. Yet I also got plenty of slickness to move that razor around, protect myself. I got no irritation, definitely no cuts or anything like that. I don't even know if I see any redness, so just extra happy about that. And here's the extra lather. Probably kind of a pass on the brush as well. So I think 20 seconds seems like the right maybe amount to load, and then I'd maybe have a little bit extra in case I made a mistake or something. Just a terrific lather. Still holding, it's not drying out or anything like that. Still holding up. How about that? Feels great. Nice and slick. See how he moves around? He's not stiff. That's kind of what you should try sometime if you want. I'm not saying it's what you should have, because it's up to you. Maybe you like dry lather. Maybe you don't want slick razor moving across your face. Or maybe you like it even slicker, even wetter, where it's dripping off the brush, where half of it ends up on your shirt after the shave. Maybe that's where you like it. Whatever you want. It's very subjective. Do what you enjoy. And this is another note. You don't have to have a custom brush. I mean a custom lather bowl. It has textured bottom, anything like that. This is $1 from the Dollar Tree. And it worked great. So you don't have to have it if you don't want. If this is what you can afford, just enjoy it, because it can make great lather. I've got a ceramic one from the Dollar Tree as well. That's a soup bowl. It's more U-shaped, flat bottomed, and then it comes up on the sides. And I like that one. Maybe a little better than this one, but they're both a little different. Oh, and here's my splash. I'm confident this is not going to go well at all with this soap, right? But this is what I grabbed out of my suitcase. So let's just in case this needs to be shaken up and mixed up a little bit, let's do that. It's got a little bit of a kind of a beer hoppy funk to it. But it's also got good things for my skin. And we'll see how I like it. A little bit of a skunkiness to it. And so I'm putting it on at nighttime. And my wife is not going to be smelling this tomorrow. All right. Keep on cleaning up. This splash is irritating my skin a little bit. It's definitely got that funky smell. Does not go with that soap. I actually opened up the soap and sniffed it just to kind of enjoy that. But most importantly, I'm kind of getting a reaction here. So I guess I'm allergic to something inside this one. So I'll have to pass it on to somebody else who might like that. So this little whip dog brush, he rates himself higher than my other one. The Frank shaving is a little on the wiry side right now. So I guess it's lower on the totem pole. Then I would say probably the Virginia shaving maybe. And then the golden nib premium. Probably this and this guy are tied. So maybe what I have to do is chop off this handle, put this knot on a more ergonomic handle where I don't quite feel it so slippery when I get it all soapy and stuff. So that is interesting. I could definitely see if I recommended a whip dog knot and then you ended up receiving one that was more like the other one that I have, you'd be like, that guy's crazy. But this little guy, I don't know whether he's the exception or the rule. So very happy with him. Oh, and so let's just sum up. Super happy with the razor and the blade. I brought 2 of the razors with me on this trip, and I am not going to use them. I'm going to keep using this Piccolo with the Grande base plate. Just terrific. The comfort level is high, and the cut closeness is high. It's nice. Very nice scent on the Kaboom. Very happy that I picked this up used, since it is a limited edition. Just a wonderful, and I could see this definitely in the fall and winter, but it's light. It's not heavy, and so it's going. I think it'd be happy in the spring as well, maybe even in the summer, especially since I'm a night shaver and it's a little cooler. I wouldn't have a problem with this at all. Just a nice scent. To me, it almost is something that would appeal to a lot of different people, because you've got the leathery stuff in there, maybe a hint of floral. I didn't really pick that up. I didn't really pick up a whole lot of the lemony, the citrus either. I picked up maybe a little bit of the resin, but just a nice collection of spices that happen to be in my wheelhouse. I mean, there are definitely other ones that I don't like, but it's like they put all my favorite ones in here. Comfort food. I'm not saying it smells like food, but that's the feeling I get. Accepting, that I just enjoyed. I felt better using it. Just really happy with it. Right up my alley. Manly, while also being other things as well. Very excellent. So we put another notch, 14 shaves now until we hit 100 with a Nacet. So that's pretty cool. And I think we're done. I hope there was something here that helped you. It helped me to remember that this whip dog brush is still in the running. It's a good brush, Silvertip. And so I think we're good. And it taught me that I don't need to use this again. I am definitely, this definitely caused some kind of reaction in my skin. Don't know what it is, but it did. So there we go. Great shave. This is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Take care and good night.